Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. It is Tuesday, Tuned In Tuesday. At least it is officially now that I've called it that. I'm Kristen Key Robbins, and thanks for joining me. I am going to keep this brief. I love hopping on every week to just give you a little energetic update, a little finger on the pulse of what's happening in the cosmos and what's happening energetically, and to help you to journey forward a little bit easier, just to breathe a little bit easier, make a little bit more sense of what you've been experiencing, and help to prepare you for what you're going to experience as we journey forward in this week. And yeah, to be clear, I'm not an astrologer. I don't study the stars. I don't really know what's happening out there, but I've come to really learn the rhythms of the universe and have been able to interpret them to be able to relax into my journey. And I have found that whatever I'm going through, you're probably going through too. So I'm going to share with you some insights from my Rumi Oracle deck here, because I pulled a card that I'm going to share, and I'm also going to expand that a bit and talk about what I have been sensing and experiencing going on in the cosmos and in my world. And I started this conversation over in my private membership group, and I had a lot of people chiming in and saying that they were experiencing the same thing. So I'm pretty excited to bring it to all of you today. All right, so without further ado, the card that I have on deck for today, and now if you've joined me the last few weeks, it's kind of funny because the same card keeps coming through, especially if you've been joining me over in the Conscious Success community afterwards, where I do the 3-card spread every week. This card has just been hanging around like crazy, and I see somebody's here live. So, hey, welcome. Chat in if you can. I'd love to know you're here. So the card that I pulled for today is the Whirling Goddess. The Whirling Goddess. Now, this card speaks all about, it's card number 30, by the way, for all of you number buffs out there. This card has been read so often, my book just flipped right open to it. But this card is all about, well, let me read the poem and then we'll talk about it. Lose your head. Not a single thread that has a head can go through the eye of a needle. Rumi. This oracle brings you a message. You are at the point of growth where your mind can hold you back rather than urge you forward. If you, like so many, use your mind to support you, to shore up your sense of self in the world, and to gain a sense of certainty about how the world works, then this is no easy leap. Pretty much, if you're human, this is a challenge, right? It will seem as though you are being asked to pass through a keyhole. Of course, your mind will stop and argue all the reasons why the door should be opened instead of remaining closed, making the task seem so much harder than it needs to be. But this is the mind in resistance. Don't place too much stock in the claims that life should be other than it is. You are being asked to dance rather than understand, to lay the thoughts to rest and to come alive. Now, this is really hitting home in a powerful way because so many of us, especially us that are drawn to this kind of work, thinking, being more in touch, being more in tune, finding our groove, finding our flow, being more in balance and harmony, and living more into our potential. It is so often that we are seeking, we are looking, we are trying to logic our way, figure out the right way to move in this world so that we can get what it is that we want. And we think for certain that if life isn't lining up how we think it should be, that it's wrong and that we're wrong and that it's all going downhill without realizing that it's actually setting us up for exactly what it is that we want. So in order to step into seeing how right now is exactly what it is that you want, exactly what you've been asking for, exactly the path unfolding before you, you have to lose your head. You have to set aside your logic. You can't compute, analyze, assess, and interpret the world around you in the same way. You're going to exhaust yourself if you continue to try to line everything up. Life is asking you to lose your head where you need to go. You cannot bring this thing along. So this is where what was on my heart to talk about is how right now life is, we're going through a massive healing. If you haven't noticed, there's a lot of stuff shifting and changing. I know you feel it, see it in your own personal world. I know you feel it, see it whenever you look around society. And as empathic beings, you know you're empathic whenever you're drawn to making yourself feel better. If you're drawn to making yourself feel better, it's a good sign that you're an empath. If you're drawn to personal development, it's a good sign that you are a healer, because you're being led to heal yourself by the internal one who's leading this entire journey anyway. And as soon as you master the art of healing yourself, you're going to be able to do the work that you really want to do in the world of helping others heal. So this starts with you doing your part, which you've been doing, you using your logical mind to get you this far, which you've been doing. But now you've hit the point of graduation. Now you've hit the point of evolution. And it's time to set aside this logical mind and maneuver within the world in a different way. Now you do not line everything up around you. Now everything is lined up as it should be, and you maneuver around it, but not in a way that you did in the past, where you abandoned yourself, forgot yourself, sacrificed yourself, compromised yourself, but in a way that you never lose sight of yourself, but you can't set aside yourself to better understand the perspective of another, to better understand the perspective that life is showing you, instead of continuing to hold so tightly to your logic, so tightly to that which you are so certain to be true about the world around you, about the other people in your world. This is what life is asking for you to set aside. And all of life is supporting this. All the cosmos is supporting this. If you are somebody who studies astrology, I know you know this is to be true. If you're somebody who's out there looking out into the cosmos to say, hey, what's happening in the world? There's intense solar flares that are happening. There's all these cosmic shifts that are happening. And just think about it in this sense. If the moon affects the tides, then the moon must affect us as well. We have so much water in our beingness. And if the moon affects the tides, affects us in such powerful ways, all the planets are affecting us in a powerful way. So with this intensity happening outwardly in the world, and this intensity happening outwardly in society, and this intensity happening inwardly, could just be a reflection of all of that that's happening out there. And if you don't take it personal, if you can learn to set it aside, not logically take it on as yours because you're feeling it in your body, but logically look at it and then logically set it to the side. Allow the feelings to be an indicator of what you're healing, clearing, helping to resolve within yourself, within the world that these other characters are bringing forth from within you. And you no longer have to take it on as personal. It no longer has to be draining. It can then, you can just channel. It can just be a flow. So all of life is supporting for this opportunity, instead of you pitfalling into your default ways of being, into your default ways of thinking, into your logical ways of being and navigating in this world and with other people that has gotten you to this point. You have to lose your head for where you're going. That's why life is making you feel like you're going crazy, like you're going to lose your mind, because that's the point. But it's not to go crazy and do ill will to others or to yourself. It's to set aside your logic, because it will not get you where you desire to go. Because where you desire to go is the heartland, baby. The world of the heart, where you feel amazing, where you can feel settled, where you can feel at peace. But all that feeling takes place in here, not here. This is what trips it up. But you can use this as a tool to navigate your way back to the heart. And that's what life's supporting. So if it feels like you're losing your head, there's good reason for it. Where you're going, you need to set it to the side. And if you want to unpack this a little bit more, I invite you to join me over in the Conscious Success community. I'll drop a link in the comments below. You can go to bit.ly Conscious Success now and join that. I'll do a 3-card spread today. I do it every week in that group at the start of the week every week. So join me over there. We'll continue to unpack this. And if this conversation hits home, or if you want to join another conversation that I'm having about bringing more kindness to the world and to others and to other humans, then definitely look for that live stream that was also posted on my wall just a few days back. All right, y'all. Love you so much. Thanks for being here. Let me know how this conversation is landing for you, and let's keep it going. All right. See you later. Bye. And thanks whoever's here live. You didn't get to chat in, but I saw you pop in and out.